Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Young Democrats of Georgia Black Caucus as we interview and speak with some elected officials and great community organizers from all across the great state of Georgia. And today we have I believe this is going to be our first school board interview right here, second school board interview coming straight out of Gwinnett County, Miss Domonique Cooper.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing today?
I am doing well. I'm having a wonderful Wednesday. How about you?
Fabulous, fabulous, and amazing. First off, I want to give you a huge shout out because you were probably next to David Person, you're probably the most on it person that I know. I mean, timing wise, follow up wise, and that's one good thing that I hear about you consistently. People are like, oh, Dominique follows up, she follows through. So now that we finally have you here on the Black Caucus platform, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Absolutely. So I am Domonique Cooper. I am a current candidate for Gwinnett County Public Schools District 3 Board of Education. I am a mom. I'm a native of Baltimore, Maryland, resident of Gwinnett County for 12 years, community connector, nonprofit founder, avid volunteer, supporter of public education, and just a busy bee. And very, very happy to be here. So thanks for having me on this Wednesday.
Great to have you here.
Thank
So we're
you.
gonna go ahead and jump straight into it pretty much. What is the one reason you are running for school board, especially in a place? I mean, no shade to Gwinnett County, but we know it's not like a Fulton County. Why school board in Gwinnett?
Great question. So, as I mentioned, I'm a native of Baltimore, been in Gwinnett County for 12 years since the latter part of 2011. And when I came here, I literally just got immersed into our school system and got really, really active with local schools, all sorts of different clusters, PTA, involvement, school council, you name it. I was a part straight out of, a whole nother state. And over the years, I've really got immersed into the culture of our schools. And I noticed that there was an opportunity to have me to bring my talents and my gifts and strengths to our school system and our entire district. So far, I've kind of just been involved by way of local schools as well as different clusters. And this gives me an opportunity to be able to champion our school system in support of our students, staff, and schools in a larger capacity and in a bigger and more positive way.
And it's crazy that you touched on all of that because we had a conversation earlier in the Capitol today, and a representative said we need more people running for school board. People don't understand how important like your school board elections are, and we need more people running for it. So definitely when I saw your candidacy, super excited about it. I was like, she's on it. We on multiple community organizing calls where I just feel like I'm running across her, and super excited with that. So can you give us maybe a little bit of kind of what your childhood was like, maybe even in your education system growing up, especially in Baltimore?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, attending school in Baltimore, I attended a wide variety of schools, right? So, my mom moved to different neighborhoods. And so, therefore, I had an experience of being in a number of schools from K through 12 that ranged in variety. So, I attended schools in Baltimore City, I attended schools in Baltimore County, and those different schools all gave me a different perspective of what education was. So I had small classrooms and then I had oversized large classrooms. I had diverse environments and then I had other environments where everybody looked like I did. So growing up in Baltimore, I would probably say, a pretty sound educational foundation. I would definitely say that it made me the person that I am today. And I had a lot of teachers that had a lot of passion for educating and educating students of all walks of life. And that's something that really, really stands out to me. So, Baltimore was indeed a different education system than Gwinnett County, just in size and scope, but it's something that's made me the person I am today. And I think I turned out okay.
Yeah,
Not perfect, but okay.
I, you're smiling all the time and bubbling. I think you turned out fine. I think you turned out fine.
Thank you.
Um, my next follow up question for you would be, what is two things that you're looking forward to making an impact on when you step into the position on the school board? If you could just name two.
Yep. Great question. So the first is to be able to restart what our community connections look like within the district. And so it's very important to me to make sure that we're all equally connected. So that's our schools, our businesses, our nonprofits, our teachers, our parents, our stakeholders, everyone. Day one, I want to create a cohesive environment for everyone to feel like they are a part of the decision making and that they have a voice, and that they feel like they're part of our school system and that they equally have value that they can add. So that community engagement is probably top priority. The second thing is I would like to also add a level of comfort to our staff members and to our students. So I want them to know that they have a board member that is here to listen, to be impartial, and to be fair. And that's something that I want all of them to know. So I want from day one to create an open atmosphere of them being able to contact me and for me to be able to listen to any concerns, any compliments, and things of that sort. So I want to create that communication channel from day one. So those are the two things.
So it sounds like you're bridging and doing what you expect every school board member to do, but fail to do. And again, I don't know the climate over there in Gwinnett fully. I just know the Gwinnett Young Dems, and those are fine people. And they speak highly of you. So I'm
Thank
glad to hear that.
you.
Is this your first time running for office?
It is my first time running for a public office in this capacity. I say that because I was a part of student government associations and all sorts of stuff in school, right? So I guess the foundation was there as a little girl and it just matriculated to this, public office now. Yes.
Hmm. I mean, that's a big step. That's a big step. That's where all true candidates really start off. And I wanted to ask you that because what are some, let's do good, bad, and ugly that you're seeing at your first go at it in public eye elected office?
Yeah, great question. That one is pretty loaded. So, first good thing that I would say is it is an awesome feeling when people see me inside of community places like the grocery store or at a local youth ballpark and they look at me and say, "Oh my gosh, you are running for office. You're a candidate." And so I get things like in my local deli at Publix yesterday, the staff there, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so regular." So that's the good part. People are seeing people that they are familiar with, they can touch, they can talk to, that now have a different capacity. And I think it's actually been empowering for the community. So that's kind of the good. The bad is that you take what you've been doing over the years and sometimes people try to turn things around and make it negative. And when you're running for office, really you're a public servant and all you want to do is help, right? So no matter what the role is or what office you're running for, the idea is that you're there to support humanity, you're there to help, and you're there to bridge the gap and advocate for other people. So it has amazed me that over the course of this journey that I've had people that try to come in a different capacity, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, people can just be interesting. There's a lot of good people, but there's a lot of people that are a little interested, and I guess that's what makes the world go round.
You're ready to go. You're fit to go. I love the way you even gave that last one. That was a perfect right there. Are you enjoying the journey so far?
Oh my gosh. Enjoying, absolutely. That's definite. I mean, Devontae, I'm not the same person that I was even in May of last year when I decided to run for office. I mean, I have garnered so many great qualities and great things that I've learned, people that I've come in communication with. And so for that, I'm ever changed, and the journey has certainly been worth it.
Love it. You were just you're ready. You're ready to go. You were ready to go. Do we have any challengers in the race by chance?
I would say so. We've got a busy race. So there's 5 people, including myself, that's running for the position. It is an open position. The
Mhm.
incumbent retire, and she's served a good deal in our community. And that she has decided to retire, and I appreciate her services. But with that said, it's opened up and it'll be pretty competitive. So there's 5 of us.
I love I love a good competitive race though. I mean, we don't want no easy victories here. We want to get it out the mud. You from Baltimore? You understand? You got some.
See the hat, right?
Yes. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit more into, let's say, your background, your expertise. What is your background like? What do you say like, I specialize in this and this is my expertise?
Yep. So great question. I would say that my background is probably with being a bridge builder and ultimately great communication skills. I think that I have the ability of communicating effectively in oral communication, written communication. I have the ability to serve in extremely professional climates, and I think that's something that, from a branding standpoint, is very much needed on our school board and in our community. And so communication is probably it. I do excellent with relationship building, and that's with people of all walks of life. So it doesn't matter whether it's students, staff, families, if it's people that are the same race as me, or it's people from various ethnicities and backgrounds. I think that I have the ability of making them feel, number one, important, and number two, being relatable to them. So that's my skill set. Being more specific, I have a background in federal government sector, and I think that that federal government sector has really prepared me for public service. And I worked for Social Security Administration for a number of years. And Devontae had all sorts of different positions within the agency, which I'm very proud of. But when I take those different, positions that I had and I look at where I'm at today, it's really no different. It's just one agency and now in a different organization. At the home, though, I still served the public, and that's essentially what I would be doing as a school board member. And so, for that, I think that's given me some foundation as well from a level of governance, fiscal responsibility, policy, being able to interpret policy, being able to effectively make decisions as well that are for the greater good of people. And I think that those things have all prepared me for this level now. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I've been doing that for a number of years in different capacities. And I think that those skills and abilities as well has given me quite a a foundation regarding different things that we come across as school board members. I think those things have prepared me very, very well, and also have prepared me to look objectively at
Mhm.
situations. So my viewpoint and the way I see things is very broad. It's not tunnel vision, it's not black and white. I see things from a number of different capacities, and I think that relatability is something that will certainly support me in the next role.
Love that. With you being, I can definitely vouch for communication is A1. And then also the bridge building with a community as diverse as Gwinnett County. And I had this conversation with your young Dems again, with Akbar. And, we were having this conversation about how diverse Gwinnett County is. People really don't understand. Like, you have your Muslim community, your Hispanic community, your Asian community, your Black community. How are you going to use your skill sets in bridge building and all these things to build a bridge amongst such a diverse county such as Gwinnett?
That's another amazing question. So I think the real cool thing is that Gwinnett already has those lines certainly intercepted, and people have already formed those bonds. So when you look at our communities, especially I'll say in District 3 specifically, at our parks, in our communities, in our schools, kids are going to school with people that are from various countries. They have various languages that are being spoken at home, dialects, all sorts of different things. So I think it's already there. I don't think I have to reinvent the wheel or necessarily create it. I just have to continue to actually respect it and make sure that it's something that I intentionally make sure that I do as a community leader, and that I encourage others to do within our communities, especially when we get new families to move in, to be able to adopt culture. And I think the culture is there, and I'm just a part of the culture. So there's not much for me to actually do, to be very honest with you. The groundwork has certainly been laid.
And that's where the admiration to, like you said, the groundwork that's already been laid ahead of you. Look, I'm just saying, we ain't in the capacity to tell you who to vote for if you don't go that, but I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if she was in my area, I'd probably give her a vote. You know what I'm saying? But that's besides the
Thank
point.
you.
I want to go ahead and also kind of swerve a little bit and see, when it comes to elected officials, other than besides school board officials, when you step into that role as school board, how do you plan to even work with the local government, your state representatives? I know there's a few representatives that cover some of Gwinnett County. How do you make some plans or some efforts that you want to do with your other elected officials?
That is amazing. So you touched on something that I've already actually begun during the candidacy journey. I have intentionally made sure that I've reached out to local electeds here in Gwinnett County, whether it was commissioners, whether they were legislators, members of our Congress, Senate, all those sorts of different things. I've even made sure that I've reached out to different capacities, such as different organizations, nonprofit organizations that support Gwinnett County Public Schools and already serve by way as a partner, different mental health organizations, things of that sort. So I most certainly believe in that, number one. And it is my firm belief and desire to have a situation where on any given day, I can pick up the phone and call my local legislator and speak with them and make sure that we are all on the same page because we all have the same purpose.
Mm.
And for me, it's no reason that as a school board member that I don't have positive relationships with community, commissioners, for example. It's important. There's no way to talk about county government and not talk about school board. There's no way to talk about, for example, our police department and law enforcement and not talk about school board. So I want to effectively make sure that I sit down, I schedule meetings with these different organizations and individuals, and make sure that we have kind of what I call a meeting of the mind. And I make it an open relationship where I respect them and it's mutually beneficial. If I can support them and they can support the school system, it's all I want. When we think about funding, when we think about the safety and security of our schools and our students, it is all interrelated. So it is without a shadow of a doubt that we all should be connected and there should be mutual relationships there.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to hold you up too much more, but I do want to get at least one. Well, let you take the opportunity on the platform. If there is one thing that you really just need to hit on, that you need people to understand before they even go looking at anywhere else, or before they even step into that box to vote, what would that be?
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So the one thing that I feel is very important to share with all constituents before they vote is to, number one, understand that what our school board does and what they're responsible for. So to put it out there for anyone that's going to go vote in Gwinnett County, please understand that when you look to vote for your next school board candidate for District 3, understand that school board members are responsible for a few things. Number one, it is the hiring and evaluation of the superintendent. It is also policy and procedure. It is also budget. and it has nothing to do with operations. And I want to say that very loud and clear. Sometimes our constituents think that school board members are responsible for change at local schools with local administrators, things of that sort, and it has nothing to do with that. And also wanted everybody to keep in mind that as a school board, we are indeed a school board, which means that it's not one person's show or another. It is very important to note that when we make votes and we make decisions, there's five people that are making those decisions. It's not one person. So this is not a solo effort. So when we come together in unison for the greater good of 182,000 plus students and staff members. And last but certainly not least, it is very important for me to also share with constituents that my support for Gwinnett County Public Schools has been by way of being both an internal stakeholder and an external stakeholder. So I have served in a capacity as a substitute teacher at all of the clusters within Gwinnett County Public Schools. So I've actually got an opportunity to support staff and actually get inside those classrooms. But what I would like everybody to know is that those classrooms are not the only thing that make me proud. The county, the district is my classroom. I don't limit the classroom to four walls inside of a building. I have been very effective as an educator, a leader, and a community connector by way of any students or anyone that I've had communication with, whether it was inside of a school or whether it was inside the community. And I think that's very important for people to know. So my view, once again, is very objective. I'm not coming into the school board with, things that I want to do that are initiatives that perhaps I wanted to do as a teacher. I'm coming in from a very positive viewpoint and perspective, by way of just being a very neutral party. But I have served in capacities of being inside the schools and outside the schools as well.
Boom, boom, boom. And for those who may not be able to find it so quickly, where can we find you? Where can we find you and how do we support you?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So you can find me on Instagram as well as Facebook under my campaign page, which is Vote Number 4 Domonique. And Domonique is spelled Domonique. And then I have a website, which is just vote number 4 Domonique.org. And if you're on LinkedIn, you can just search my first and last name, Domonique Cooper. You can find me there as well. I would love to connect. And any support, it would be appreciated, whether it's coming out to Canvas with me, whether it's just spreading name recognition throughout your community. Donations are, of course, always appreciated, but more importantly, I would love to earn your respect, and I encourage you to do your research on all five candidates whom I have a lot of respect for, and I encourage you to make a decision that's best for you and your family. I don't encourage you to necessarily vote for me, but I encourage you to find the candidate that most aligns with your vision and what you need for your family.
I don't see how you don't vote for that. Like I don't see how you don't vote for that, honestly. Like, and somebody once told me, if you can't support a campaign with your money, support it with your time. And if you can't support it with your time, support it with the money. Make a choice, people. Make a choice. We got Miss Domonique Cooper for Gwinnett School Board, District 3, right here. As you can just heard, you can find her on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Hit the donation link, hit a follow, sign up to Canvas, volunteer, 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 volunteer. And before we let you go, is there any last thing, any last words? The mic is yours right now.
Thank you for this today. Thank you all for taking time to listen. Kudos just to everyone that's out here campaigning. It's not an easy job, and so to everyone that's in my race, salute to you all. I appreciate you all as well for throwing your hat in the race, and thank you all for your time today.
Love it. Miss Cooper, we appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you on the campaign trail. And a win go in our favor. The Black Caucus would like an invitation to the celebration.
That's a promise.
Perfect. You heard it. Heard it. Mark it down. Miss Cooper, I appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the campaign trail.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.